June 22, 2007, Canada, Manitoba, Elio. And 2 winds succeed, 2 homes wept away, including one that was well bolted to its foundation. A few of the bolts themselves were snapped off. A van was thrown 150 m through the air, and nearby trees were debarked as well. Only officially rated F5 tornado in Canada. Last tornado to be rated F5 due to Environment Canada, utilizing the enhanced Fujita scale, beginning April 1 to 1 of 13. F5 tornadoes. Worldwide, 11 tornadoes have the rating of F5 on the enhanced Fujita scale. Tornadoes officially rated F5, day, year, country, subdivision, location, fatalities rated by AUG 1918, Hor 5, France, Normandy, Monville, 75 Coronas, SL, Toro. 18 Hor 5, Monville, tornado, 3 large mills, at least one of which was newly built, were leveled and partly swept clean. One of the mills was a 4-story structure that likely collapsed. Large debris was carried 30 km and mature trees were thrown very far. This tornado was rated F5 by the French Observatory of Tornadoes and Violent Thunderstorms, with the European Severe Storms Laboratory acknowledging the F5 rating as its maximum intensity, though SL also rated the tornado F5, Toro rated the tornado T10. May 4, 2007, United States, Kansas, Greensburg, 11 SPC and US Marshall, Greensburg tornado. This tornado destroyed 95% of the town, including 7 well-built homes with anchor bolts that were swept away. Vehicles were thrown hundreds of yards and mangled, including a pickup truck that was split in 2 and found a mile away. Furthermore, freight train cars were overturned and multi-ton oil tanks were destroyed. Fire hydrants were ripped from the ground in town, and large trees were completely denuded and debarked as well. Aerial views of the tornado's path showed spiral and erratic paths from suction vortices in fields before it hit Greensburg. The area was severely scoured with some vegetation removed just northwest of the town. Extraordinary damage to evergreen trees occurred. This was the first tornado to have been rated F5 after the retirement of the original Fujita scale in the United States in February 2007. May 25, 2000, the United States, Iowa, Parkersburg, New Hartford, 9 SPC and the US Parkersburg tornado. Well-built homes with anchor bolts were swept away, 17 of which were assessed to have sustained F5 damage. 2 of them had no visible debris left anywhere near the foundations. A concrete walkout basement wall was pushed over at one home and the concrete floor was cracked. A rebar support set into the foundation of another home was found snapped in half, and reinforced concrete light poles were snapped and dragged along the ground. A large industrial building was completely destroyed, with metal beams twisted and sheared off at their bases, and the foundation pushed clean of the metal framing, and debris. Vehicles were thrown long distances and stripped down to their frames as well. Additionally, a large field east of Parkersburg was filled with finely granulated debris that was windrowed in long streaks. Trees were completely debarked and shrubs were uprooted and stripped in some areas. Numerous vehicles were mangled beyond recognition, including a Ford minivan that was left torn apart by the winds. Op 27, 2011, United States, Mississippi, Northern Philadelphia, Coy, Winston County, Noxubee County, 3 SPC and US. 2011 Philadelphia, Mississippi tornado rated F5 based upon extreme ground scouring. The tornado dug a trench 215 on Lido, deep into a pasture, leaving nothing but large clumps of dirt and bare topsoil behind. A tied-down mobile home was lofted through the air and carried 300 YD with no indication of contact with the ground. Several vehicles were tossed hundreds of yards and wrapped around trees, and a steel I-beam was twisted and embedded into the ground. A well-built frame home was nearly swept clean off its foundation. Pavement was scoured from roads as well, and extreme debarking and denuding of trees occurred, some of which were ripped out of the ground and thrown up to 20 wide and away. Op 27, 2011, United States, Alabama, Hamilton, Hackleburg, Phil Campbell, Mount Hope, Tanner, Athens, Harvard, 71 SPC and the US. 2011 Hackleburg, Phil Campbell tornado. This was the deadliest tornado in Alabama history.
in the deadliest tornado of the 2011. Super outbreak, numerous homes, some of which were large, well built, and anchor bolted, were swept away. End of part 8.